The Earth's surface is a familiar canvas. Sunlight paints its landscapes. Life flourishes openly, seen and understood by many. Yet beneath this comforting veneer, another world exists. A realm of profound, unyielding darkness awaits discovery. Crushing pressures guard its ancient secrets. This hidden domain persistently calls to the curious mind. It beckons the brave soul, and sometimes it lures the unwary individual. The pull towards the subterranean is an undeniable force. This narrative is a descent into shadow. It is not primarily a journey of heroic discovery. Instead, it is an exploration of an enduring, somber mystery. The allure of the deep is both ancient and profoundly powerful. It whispers subtle promises of the great unknown. It hints at forgotten truths, buried far from the sun's illuminating gaze. These are stories of what lies beneath, and what happens when humans venture there. The darkness holds more than just an absence of light. Imagine the first tentative step downward. The air around you grows cool, then transitions to a biting cold. Natural light surrenders its struggle, succumbing to an impenetrable, absolute blackness. Each meter descended is a world irretrievably left behind. The familiar, comforting sounds of the surface world fade into memory. They are replaced by a silence that seems to breathe. It is a silence that cradles innumerable secrets within its vast expanse, waiting. Here in these oppressive depths, gravity itself feels different. It becomes heavier, more insistent and palpable. It pulls not just the physical body, but also the spirit. Toward the very heart of the planet it guides, towards places perhaps never meant for human eyes to witness. This is the undeniable threshold of the forgotten realms. It is the silent, waiting domain of echoes that never fully fade, only reverberate quietly through time and stone. Many individuals throughout history have answered this silent, insistent call. Intrepid explorers sought to chart new, unknown frontiers beneath the soil. Determined miners chased elusive veins of precious ore through solid rock. Dedicated divers consistently tested the very limits of their physical endurance. They all ventured bravely into the Earth's hidden, unlit chambers. They plunged into the ocean's deep, lightless canyons. Some were full of bright hope, others driven by stark necessity. However, not all of these adventurers returned to share their tales. Some were simply and irrevocably consumed by the unforgiving depths. Their presence on Earth was suddenly and completely erased. They left behind only lingering questions and a persistent, haunting unease. Their stories are not tales of glorious triumph over adversity. Instead, they speak of a sudden, utterly silent disappearance from our world. A final, unrecorded moment in the vastness of the below. Their journeys ended abruptly, without witness. These souls become the forgotten, in a deeply resonant way. Their names might be remembered for a fleeting time by loved ones. Memorials, stark and solemn, might even be constructed in their honor, but the unvarnished truth of their ultimate end remains stubbornly elusive. It is swallowed whole by unyielding stone, or drowned in the cold abyssal waters. Their final thoughts, their last fleeting sights, are lost forever to the world above. They are secrets kept by the deep. The silence these individuals left in their wake is profound and heavy. It is a particular quality of silence that speaks volumes if one listens. It tells of the immense indifferent power of the natural world. It speaks of the inherent fragility of human endeavor when faced with such might. This silence echoes disturbingly in the abandoned, lightless tunnels. It whispers mournfully through the decaying, submerged wrecks on the ocean floor, a constant, chilling reminder of the vast, potent unseen. Many individuals throughout history have answered this silent, insistent call. Intrepid explorers sought to chart new, unknown frontiers beneath the soil. Determined miners chased elusive veins of precious ore through solid rock. Dedicated divers consistently tested the very limits of their physical endurance. They all ventured bravely into the Earth's hidden, unlit chambers. They plunged into the ocean's deep, lightless canyons. Some were full of bright hope, others driven by stark necessity. However, not all of these adventurers returned to share their tales. Some were simply and irrevocably consumed by the unforgiving depths. Their presence on Earth was suddenly and completely erased. They left behind only lingering questions and a persistent, haunting unease. Their stories are not tales of glorious triumph over adversity. Instead, they speak of a sudden, utterly silent disappearance from our world. A final, unrecorded moment in the vastness of the below. Their journeys ended abruptly, without witness. These souls become the forgotten, in a deeply resonant way. Their names might be remembered for a fleeting time by loved ones. Memorials, stark and solemn, might even be constructed in their honor, but the unvarnished truth of their ultimate end remains stubbornly elusive. It is swallowed whole by unyielding stone, or drowned in the cold abyssal waters. Their final thoughts, their last fleeting sights, are lost forever to the world above. They are secrets kept by the deep. The silence these individuals left in their wake is profound and heavy. It is a particular quality of silence that speaks volumes if one listens. It tells of the immense indifferent power of the natural world. It speaks of the inherent fragility of human endeavor when faced with such might. This silence echoes disturbingly in the abandoned, lightless tunnels. It whispers mournfully through the decaying, submerged wrecks on the ocean floor, a constant, chilling reminder of the vast, potent unseen. Consider the intrinsic nature of these formidable environments. Imagine narrow, winding passages that severely constrict all movement. Picture dark tunnels that seem to stretch onward into an impossible infinity. Think of cold water that inexorably fills every available crevice, obscuring all sight. The very air, essential for life, can transform into an enemy. It may become dangerously thin, or subtly tainted, or simply begin to run out. This is a world not made for human comfort or survival. Claustrophobia in this context is more than a simple fear of tight spaces. It is the palpable, crushing weight of the earth pressing down from above. It is the stark knowledge of tons of unyielding rock or vast leagues of dark water. These elements separate the lone individual from the sky, from light, from safety. It is a primal, deeply ingrained dread that surfaces. The tension is a constant, unwelcome companion in these lower depths. It never truly leaves. Unseen dangers inevitably lurk within every single shadow. A precariously loose rock overhead, a sudden violent shift in ambient pressure, an unexpected pocket of noxious gas, a disorienting, powerful current. The pervasive darkness itself acts as a patient predator. It skillfully hides treacherous pitfalls and confusing dead ends from searching eyes. It confounds the human senses and insidiously breeds paranoia. Every faint sound is unnaturally amplified, every prolonged silence becomes deeply ominous. The true, unadulterated horror is often not an external monster. It is instead the slow, creeping realization of being irretrievably trapped. It is the sight of dwindling essential resources. It is the feeling of fading, precious hope. It is the experience of utter, complete isolation from the familiar world above. This slow descent is into a personal, inescapable abyss. A quiet, desperate struggle against an indifferent, unyielding, and uncaring environment. This forms the chilling core of the silent, pervasive terror. Modernity has not dulled this ancient, persistent call. Humans still seek the Earth's hidden cavities. They carry advanced lights, stronger ropes, perhaps even better maps, yet the stone itself remains profoundly indifferent to such progress. It holds the same primal challenges it always has. The deep allure of the unseen passage continues to persist. A narrow, shadowed opening in a remote hillside beckons quietly. It promises cool darkness, a journey far away from the familiar sunlit world. The invitation is subtle, yet it proves overwhelmingly powerful for some adventurous souls. The initial entry into such a domain is a passage between worlds. The quality of the air changes perceptibly. Light surrenders its dominance quickly. The familiar sounds of the surface world fade first to distant whispers, then to complete nothingness. The rock begins to enfold the explorer. It is often a cool, damp embrace at first contact. Each step taken deeper into the gloom is a further commitment. It is another step further from the known, the safe. The path might be well trodden by others before, or it might be a virgin squeeze into the absolute unknown. The thrill and the trepidation walk hand in hand here, inseparable companions. These are not grand sweeping halls carved by careful human hands. They are natural fissures, ancient conduits, the forgotten waterways of ages past. They are twisted and shaped by unimaginable geological time. Passages can narrow abruptly to mere inches. They demand awkward contortion, a complete surrender of upright human posture. The cold rock presses in close from all sides. It scrapes insistently against protective fabric, sometimes against bare skin. It becomes a constant, unyielding, and unavoidable presence. The very texture of the stone becomes intimately known to the touch. Its profound chill seeps deep into bones, a stark reminder of the Earth's deep internal cold. The journey inward continues, often propelled by insatiable curiosity, or perhaps it is driven by the inherent challenge itself. The silence found within these narrow passages is rarely empty. It is often filled with the faint, rhythmic drip of unseen water, the quiet scuff of a misplaced boot on stone, the amplified, sometimes ragged sound of one's own breathing. Sometimes this pervasive silence becomes a heavy, almost tangible cloak. It begins to weigh heavily upon the human spirit. The endless tunnels stretch onward, a dark promise or a hidden, lurking threat. Each new turn invariably brings another profound unknown into view. Section 2. The Unyielding Embrace. Consider the story of John Edward Jones. He entered Nutty Putty Cave, a known system. An unexplored passage beckoned him deeper. He sought the birth canal but found a treacherous slot. He became wedged, head down, beyond easy reach. The cave transformed into an unyielding stone prison. Rescuers battled against implacable geology. The cave's embrace was absolute. Hope dwindled, silence suffocated. The earth does not negotiate. It stands as a testament to the deep's power. Section 3. Corridors of Endless Night. These tunnels stretch endlessly, leading into the planet's unseen heart. Each passage looks remarkably similar, with unexpected turns leading to more confining rock, or sudden, impassable dead ends. The explorer's light reveals only the immediate surroundings. The vast unseen presses in from all sides, creating a profound sense of smallness. Silence absorbs every sound, becoming a source of unease or detached comfort. Time loses meaning, and direction becomes fragile. The mind plays tricks in the darkness, where shadows seem to move. The earth breathes slowly, water drips, and the air feels ancient. It is a self-contained universe of rock and shadow, holding traces of past explorers. These tunnels are metaphors for the vast unknown within, challenging journeys with no assured return. The darkness remains, long after the fragile light has gone out. Shifting depths. The Earth's hunger is not confined to dry land. Beneath the waves, another chasm yawns. The ocean's abyss mirrors the planet's voids. Water replaces stone as the confining element. Crushing pressures are measured in atmospheres. The darkness is just as absolute. This liquid underworld beckons with silence. It offers a cold embrace to those who dare. The sun is a distant memory here. The silence of the deep sea is not empty. It is a thick, resonant quiet. Cave silence holds the drip of water. Ocean silence is imbued with immense pressures. The calls of unseen creatures echo through water. The thrum of currents is ever present. A vessel descending carries its own metallic sighs. These are the sounds of a world utterly alien. Visual metaphors shift in this aquatic realm. Rusted helmets on a cave floor find their counterparts. They are the decaying steel hulls of once proud ships. Twisted metal, barnacle-encrusted, lies on the ocean bed. Echoing water drops marking time in a cavern are replaced. Sonar pings search the blackness, feeling for obstacles. The creak of the submersible's frame is a constant reminder. It speaks of the immense, invisible weight of the water column above, a silent, relentless force pressing from all sides. The ocean, like the cave, collects its forgotten. Entire crews, passengers, their vessels swallowed by storm or conflict. Some vanish without a trace, their final moments unrecorded. Others settle slowly onto the seabed, becoming artificial reefs. Their stories are absorbed by the cold, dark water. Their absence is a profound void in the world above. The abyss stares back, indifferent to human ambition or despair. It simply waits, holding its countless secrets within its vast, dark embrace. Section 2. Silent Sentinels. The Andrea Doria's Watery Grave. The SS Andrea Doria was a jewel of the ocean. A collision in the dense fog off Nantucket's coast sealed its fate. The grand liner, mortally wounded, listed heavily. It began its slow descent into the cold Atlantic waters. The wreck of the Andrea Doria became a siren call to advanced scuba divers. It earned a formidable reputation, the Mount Everest of diving. Depths that induce narcosis, strong currents, and collapsing structures test divers. Within its rusting shell, a unique silence reigns. The echoes of its final, chaotic hours seem to linger. Twisted steel plates groan under the water's pressure. Once opulent saloons are now filled with silt and marine growth. Scattered personal effects tell fragmented stories. The Andrea Doria is a ghost ship, a silent sentinel guarding its secrets. Experienced divers have been lost within its dark, corroding corridors. The ship is an indifferent warden of its watery grave. Section 3. Descent into Pressure. The Allure of Modern Submersibles. Modern submersibles are marvels of intricate engineering. They are designed to withstand the colossal forces of the deep ocean. These vessels carry human observers into crushing blackness. The allure is undeniable, to witness firsthand the landscapes of the abyss. The defining characteristic of the deep sea is its immense ambient pressure. For every 10 meters of descent, the pressure increases by 1 atmosphere. At great depths, it is hundreds of times greater than at the surface. The hull of a submersible is a fragile, meticulously crafted shield. Trust in design, materials, and precise calculation is absolute. Claustrophobia within a deep-sea submersible is unique. Individuals are encased within a sphere or cylinder of metal. The vast, cold, crushing void is mere inches beyond the viewport. The journey is a constant, silent negotiation with oblivion. The OceanGate Titan submersible embodied this modern ambition. It offered a glimpse into a world previously accessible only to a handful of scientists and specialized explorers. Section 4. Implosion in the Deep. The Titan's Final Echo. The Titan submersible commenced its final descent. Communication with its surface support vessel was maintained for a time. Then an abrupt, inexplicable silence fell. On the surface, hours passed with growing apprehension. The physics of a catastrophic implosion are brutal and swift. When a submersible hull fails under extreme pressure, it collapses inward. The event is near instantaneous, completed in milliseconds. The immense energy of the surrounding water is unleashed. The vessel and its occupants are erased. Days later, a debris field was discovered on the seabed. It was located not far from the bow of the Titanic. Fragments of the Titan lay scattered, stark evidence of its violent end. The deep draws no distinctions. It accepts all that descends into its cold, dark embrace. The echoes of the Titan's loss continue to resonate. The deep is an impartial, indifferent realm. The descent begins at a forgotten mouth, an opening in the earth often obscured by time's patient growth. Sunlight falters, then surrenders completely to an encompassing darkness. A threshold is crossed into a realm of past human endeavor. The mine awaits, a hollow monument to effort and extraction. Within these man-made caverns, the silence is profound. It seems to hold the faint, lingering echoes of countless forgotten labors. The rhythmic strike of pickaxes against stubborn stone whispers here. The grating sound of ore carts on rusty rails can almost be heard. The strained grunts of men, toiling in near-complete darkness, seem imprinted on the air. These are the ghosts of ambition, of necessity, of lives spent wresting treasure from the earth. Symbolic visuals litter the shadowed floors and line the decaying walls. A rusted shovel, its wooden handle long since rotted away, lies half-buried. Timbers, meant to support the crushing weight of the earth above, now sag precariously. A discarded miner's lamp, its glass cracked, sits coated in decades of undisturbed dust. Each object is a silent storyteller. Abandoned mines are not passive relics. They remain active geological entities. The ground beneath one's feet can be deceptively unstable. Hidden sinkholes may lie concealed by thin crusts of debris. Timbers, weakened by moisture and time, groan under impossible loads, threatening sudden collapse. The very air can be a subtle enemy. Pockets of unbreathable gas, invisible and odorless, may have accumulated in the lower levels. These are places where the earth continues its slow, inexorable processes, indifferent to the structures men have carved within it. Sometimes signs of a sudden final struggle are etched into the stone. Scratches on a wall, claw marks born of desperation, tell a grim tale. A hastily scrawled warning, perhaps barely legible, might hint at a disaster. A section of tunnel deliberately blocked with rubble speaks of containment, of trying to seal away a flood, a fire, or something worse from deeper within. Personal belongings, small and poignant, offer a more intimate connection. A battered metal lunch pail, its contents long turned to dust, lies forgotten in a niche. A single worn leather glove, stiff with age, rests on a pile of fallen rock. These are not mere objects, they are condensations of lives. The Earth's embrace can also be liquid. Abandoned mines over time often fill with water. Springs are breached, or surface runoff finds its inevitable way downward. These once dry tunnels transform into submerged corridors. Stone passages become aquatic realms, silent and cold. The transition is profound. Air, the medium of terrestrial life, is replaced by the dense, enveloping presence of water. Light behaves differently here, if it penetrates at all. It is scattered, diffused, creating an ethereal, dreamlike environment far below the surface. The sensory experience shifts dramatically in these flooded spaces. Sounds are muted, transformed by the water's density. The sharp clang of metal becomes a dull thud. The explorer's own movements create gentle pressures, slow eddies in the still water. Bubbles from breathing apparatus rise like silver spheres, the only clear sign of intrusion. Visibility is often limited, dependent on the clarity of the water and the strength of artificial lights. Particles hang suspended, catching the beams, creating a sense of moving through liquid stars in an inner cosmos. Section 4. Submerged Sanctuaries. Silence in Liquid Time. To enter these submerged corridors is to trespass into a realm where time flows differently. The usual markers of days and nights are absent. The preservation afforded by the cold, often anoxic water can create a sense of stasis. Objects appear as they were when the waters first rose, untouched by the decay of the airy world. Yet it is not a true stillness. A slow transformation occurs, minerals accrete, silt settles like a gentle shroud. The human past is being slowly, irrevocably integrated into the geological present, layer by silent layer. These flooded places become accidental sanctuaries of history. They hold secrets the dry world might have long since erased. A sudden inundation could have trapped tools in mid-use. It might have sealed off sections of a mine or ancient ruin, preserving them like insects in amber. The water acts as a silent guardian, protecting these fragments from the ravages of surface weather and human interference. Each submerged passage is a potential archive. It is a library of the lost, its volumes written in rust and stone, readable only by those who dare to enter its liquid silence. Section 1. The Earth's Deep Memory. Far beneath the traces of human endeavor, the Earth keeps older records. These are written in the vast, silent strata of ancient geological layers. Each layer is a compressed chapter of planetary time. Millennia upon millennia are stacked, one upon the other. They speak of epochs before forests, before oceans as we know them. They remember a world unshaped by human hands, or even by familiar life. Our brief history is but a whisper against this immense stony chronicle. The deep rock holds the quiet narrative of ages. These primordial layers are not simply inert, dead stone. They have borne witness to the planet's fiery birth. They have endured unimaginable pressures, unimaginable heat. Continents have drifted across them, mountains have risen and eroded away above them. They hold the subtle memory of these colossal transformations. This is the planet's own deep consciousness, recorded in silicate and carbonate. It is a memory that pulses with the slow, ancient rhythms of planetary formation. A quiet, powerful presence in the dark. Descending into these truly ancient depths, the silence transforms. It becomes older, heavier, more absolute than any silence known above. This is the quiet that preceded the first stirrings of life. It is the stillness of a world still cooling, still settling. Before the first rains fell, before the first winds blew, this profound hush existed. It is the baseline of planetary existence, the sound of deep time itself. Here, the Earth dreams its oldest, most fundamental dreams, undisturbed by fleeting surface concerns. Any human intrusion into such profound antiquity feels almost sacrilegious. Our most advanced lights pierce only a few meters into this billion-year darkness. Our presence is a momentary, insignificant flicker in the grand scheme. The ancient geological strata remain utterly indifferent to our brief passage through their domain. They hold secrets within their compressed folds. Secrets far older than our species, perhaps older than life itself. The Earth's oldest memories are locked securely in these silent foundational stones. Section 2. Whispers in the stone faint markings. Within these ancient bands of rock, peculiar anomalies emerge. Formations appear that defy simple, natural explanation. Patterns manifest, appearing almost deliberate. They hint at something more, something other. A quiet deviation from the norm. The mind seeks rational explanations. Whispers from a time so remote it predates language. Section 3. Ominous glyphs and ancient portents. Sometimes the symbols become undeniably clear, distinct, deliberate markings, etched deeply into resilient stone, or glowing with a soft internal light. Not random scratches or natural erosions. Complex geometric shapes, intricate spirals. They thrum with a quiet energy. These glyphs feel like warnings. A silent, urgent message from the past, speaking of boundaries, forbidden zones, describing unique dangers, dangers lurking deeper still, portents carved in stone, changing the atmosphere of the deep. Their meaning remains elusive. Cultures that inscribe them are lost. The feeling they evoke is universal, a sense of profound unease, encountering ancient, powerful knowledge, a caution passed down through millennia, embedded in the fabric of the earth, stark warnings for humankind, signaling inimical places, marking perilous entry points. The glowing glyphs offer no answers, their secrets locked in stone. The deep earth guards its mysteries. Section 1. The Persistent Silence. The journey through these narratives has taken us into varied, unlit depths. We have traversed the shadowed corridors of ancient caves. We have descended into the crushing blackness of the deep oceans. We have navigated the silent, abandoned tunnels of past human toil and ambition. Across each of these distinct and formidable realms, a singular common thread undeniably persists. It is the enduring thread of a profound, almost sentient silence. These are spaces that seem to actively swallow sound, that absorb light, that erase presence. They exist as domains far outside our everyday comprehension of the world, vast, ancient, and utterly indifferent to our fleeting, often fragile human presence. They represent the hidden, foundational undercurrents of our living planet, always waiting. Throughout these explorations of the forgotten and the vanished, the victims themselves remain consistently unseen. Their stories are not recounted in their own words but are instead told through their stark, echoing absence from the world above. They are memorialized by the tools they may have left behind in haste. They are remembered by the faint, desperate warnings they might have scrawled onto cold stone. The deep silence they now permanently inhabit is far from empty. Rather, it seems filled with the silent, unheard reverberations of their final, unrecorded moments. These were moments unwitnessed by any other human eye, unrecorded by any device. Their ultimate disappearance is absolute, a complete and total absorption into the unyielding fabric of ancient rock or the cold, final embrace of deep water. They become an integral part of the mystery itself, inseparably woven into the deep. Humanity's intrinsic, restless quest to understand, to chart, to conquer, or to extract resources relentlessly drives us forward. It propels us into these inherently formidable, often hostile domains. We carry our brightest lights, our most sophisticated instruments, our most fervent hopes for discovery or return. Yet the ancient depths consistently respond with an immutable, unwavering indifference that spans geological time. The unyielding stone does not willingly offer passage. The immense pressure of the water does not relinquish its grip without consequence. The profound, primordial darkness does not offer up its deeply held secrets without exacting a profound, often ultimate cost. These are not gentle landscapes that invite casual passage or easy exploration. They are formidable bastions of the planet's raw, untamed, and elemental power, relentlessly challenging our every intrusion. We are therefore left to contemplate the true underlying nature of these intense encounters. Are they merely a series of unfortunate, isolated incidents? Are they the predictable, inevitable outcomes of individuals venturing into inherently hostile, unforgiving territories? Tragedies that are born of simple miscalculation, critical equipment failure, or the straightforward, brutal mechanics of implacable physics? Are the silent, persistent echoes that linger in these places just the sorrowful reverberations of these mundane, albeit utterly devastating accidents? Or perhaps, does the striking consistency of these vanishings, the sheer undeniable totality of their consumption by the depths, point towards something more? Something that subtly, yet profoundly, eludes our conventional, everyday grasp of reality and the world around us. Section 2, Thresholds to Deeper Realms. The rational mind insists these events are accidents. Gravity acts upon all mass. Immense pressure will crush. Oxygen depletes in a sealed environment. Ancient rock will eventually fall. These are the immutable laws of our physical world. Logical explanations are found in engineering reports or geological surveys, sometimes survivor testimonies. Narratives of loss are attributed to known dangers. Each tragic event can be broken down into a chain of cause and effect, yet a persistent question lingers, a subtle whisper from the depths. Could these events be more than tragic misfortune? Are these descents sudden awakenings? An entry into enigmatic realms beyond our perception? Realms outside our understanding of the universe? The total disappearance hints at a profound transition, a passage into an unknown state of existence. What are these deeper realms? They are not physical places on any map. They could be dimensions of consciousness, parallel realities, or the primordial void from which all things emerge and return. Ancient symbols might speak of existential thresholds, boundaries between the known and the unknowable. The deep places of Earth remain symbols of mystery. Each disappearance carves another unanswered question. It sends another silent ripple into the dark water. The silent echoes are not just memories of the lost, they are quiet invitations to each of us, invitations to question the limits of our knowledge. Were these souls trapped and extinguished by elemental forces, or did they glimpse something beyond comprehension? The ancient Earth holds its secrets, offering no reply.